During an emergency as massive as the flood of '93, communication is so important. It's critical. Bo Bowman shows us the challenges that state leaders faced at the time and how it's gotten a lot better in the last 30 years.
First off, we needed a much bigger facility as we were in a conference room.
30 years after the flood of '93, John Benson still remembers his early days working for state emergency management.
Keep track of your costs as you go through it.
Making sure the messaging system worked between agencies in the old Emergency Operations Center.
We were down in the basement of the Hoover building in a glorified conference room is probably the only way I could describe it.
TV8's Jeff Greenwood went to the state capitol complex where state disaster officials are monitoring the flooding reports. Jeff, what's going on there?
KCCI reporters were there as state officials sifted through the floodwaters.
To repair sewers, to do roads.
Benson was still in his first year on the job.
This is the '93 flood.
But he will never forget when he heard L.D. McMullen with Des Moines Waterworks say the plant was overtaken, unable to deliver clean water to residents.
About 3:30 this morning, we ended up losing the battle of keeping the Raccoon River out of the treatment plant.
Having almost an ashen look to his face, and he went in, I kind of stood by the door and listened to the conversation he had with the director at that time and said, "We are going to lose the waterworks." And it was like, oh my God, this is going to be really terrible. The part that's really cool about this room,
30 years later, Benson is standing in a far superior command center.
we're becoming far more efficient at it.
As director of the Iowa Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management.
When state government has to respond to something in the state, that coordination effort happens in this facility.
This room will be the Emergency Operations Center.
TV8's Michelle Parker was there for the first tour of the building, opened the next year in the basement of the National Guard Joint Forces building at Camp Dodge in Johnston. Now reinforced to withstand the strongest of natural disasters.
It was designed so that it was tornado, flood, and earthquake proof.
Even to this day, we still use lessons learned from '93, we use lessons learned from '08, we use all of it.
The State Emergency Operations Center, or SEOC, is now equipped to give every state agency a seat at the table, streamlining communication and making disaster problem solving more efficient.
The big table down front that's where my staff would be.
Problems are called in to the table in the middle, then are assigned to be handled by someone in the room.
Any data point you want in the state, like if you're thinking about critical facilities, road conditions, all of that type of data that's in the state, even assessor-related data, we have access to that.
A new challenge arose when the COVID-19 pandemic first started. This room was mission control.
When COVID first started, and you can probably find a picture of this place was packed. I mean, right to the walls, full of people.
KCCI was there in early March of 2020 as dozens of state officials worked to learn what they could about the virus to keep Iowans safe.
The health people said, this is going to be an incubator. This is going to be bad. So it forced us to actually get used to operating in a hybrid environment.
Now they're able to tackle disasters virtually, progressing out of necessity to not only protect Iowans, but to protect themselves too.
Because as technology has evolved, we've evolved with it.
But as Benson will tell his staff, it's all about constant improvement, being better tomorrow than they were today. Moving forward, Benson wants to create a system that makes it easier for disaster survivors to get what they need.
The disaster survivor might have to go here to find this, and have to go here to find this, and here to find this. We wanted to go basically one-stop shop. We're going to hold your hand through this process so you become your recovery effort as a survivor is more effective, it's more efficient.
Benson believes it's not the fancy building or the shiny new technology that can do that, but rather the Iowans who are committed to getting better and saving lives.
What makes the facility run is the people that sit in these chairs.
Bo Bowman reporting. Now, we hope you will join us Sunday night at 9 for our hour-long special, Flood of '93, 30 years later. We'll take a more in-depth look with all new stories. You'll find it right here on KCCI.